Hey guys,
Hey Nick, how you doing?
oh, we're missing the old man here.
Yeah, he'll be along in about 10, 15 minutes, he said.
Yeah, he kind of shows up later in that movie too, so that's all right.
Yeah, I had some fun with my video editing software there, and so we put together a bit longer of an intro. And apparently we need it because of Steve, so we're gonna have to give him some shit later tonight.
He'll tell us to pull our heads out of our own, you know what? So,
Probably.
oh, guys, morality is inevitable. Tonight is about the inevitability of morality. It's actually kind of like our second take on the morality of the red pill. We deny that it is an amoral praxeology. Nor is it just merely a praxeology. But we'll get into that later.
Yes, I have many examples, and we're even gonna have some fun with science. So, but that's for
We'll have
later.
lots of fun. Yeah, we're going to have lots of good stuff here tonight. But let's just go with an informal definition. I'll just pop it out there and open. Maybe you can answer off the cuff. What is the red pill?
I would say that the red pill is a collection of observations about in this in our particular space intersexual dynamics. Uh, that could be dating. That could be that can be being married. Obviously, being married has a huge intersexual component to it. However, I want to go a little bit further, and I want to say it is not possible to observe something without that observation affecting your choices. Ask any men
Oh,
who's been involved in the red pill or who's even looked at red pill content. Okay. And they will tell you, yes, I make different choices now. Even the people who hate us in the red pill, they are, they're reacting to us. They're reacting to our observations. They really don't like our observations, but there is the central thesis of tonight, if I were to state it, would be there is no action in absence of morality.
right. Yeah. Morality is inevitable. So there's laws of logic, there's laws of nature, metaphysics, laws of morality. So epistemology, metaphysics, and ethics, which will be proven to be shown, are of course distinct categories, yet they are also subcategories of one another. To talk about one means you have to include the other two. There is no pure epistemology with a make-believe world or a world that doesn't exist. And you can't make choices and decisions based on logic without a certain world and ethics. To even
So,
try to logic an argument means that you even have a purpose behind it, that right is right and wrong is wrong. Lies are bad and truth is good.
well, you said something interesting there. Even trying to argue something and logic it, why do what? Why do you care? What is driving you to care to invest the time in defending a position or attacking a position? Why do you care? What is driving you to decide to get out your keyboard and start spurg posting on Twitter, or in our case, yelling into microphones? Why do you guys do that?
Oh, they want a red pill, man. The whole idea of the red pill is you have the blue pill, which is go along with falsehood and fantasy or accept the truth. And it's usually understood to accept the truth is good.
Okay,
Or you're
but
not all cipher here and want to take the blue pill and
Well, the blue pill has its advantages, and in the movie, The Matrix, Cypher even talks about the advantages. Like he knows that the Matrix is a lie, right? He knows,
Mhm.
but there is a certain comfort to that lie. And he talks about it, it's like, I know the food I'm eating isn't real, but it still tastes good all the same. Like in the Matrix, you can live lives of relative comfort compared to the life he was living on board the ship fighting the war, right? And look, fighting wars is hard work. So why do you fight?
Oh. There's no. It's not for morality, is it? There's no morality involved there, is it? Whether that's for power, money, righteous war,
Well,
protect your
I guess
homeland.
the answer to that question would be, do you think that morality is a result of action? Reality's effect, not cause? I don't know, Nick. Am I stepping off the reservation there? Because some people sure
It's
talk
not.
like it. That's how it works.
It's involved in every step of the way because the cause itself, because morality has to come from somewhere.
Right. So where does it come from?
Do you really want me to answer that question at 12 minutes? I can do that. My name's Nick, Christianity Unplugged. Yes, I believe in God, and I believe God is the one who provides us with a perfect standard of morality.
Say, yeah, we're 13 minutes in. You can say that. I won't stop you.
And he's the uncaused cause, right? I mean, he's more than that, but sure.
Well, when we were discussing this episode last night, it was actually Steve, who is being tardy today, who brought up the concept of the uncaused cause, and the science that I'm going to get into later tonight. We're actually going to look at the uncaused cause and how that creates all these problems for the amoralists. But that's for later. So,
Right. And for our natural law guys, that a lot of what I'm talking about is going to follow from, natural law and philosophy. But reminder, we've talked about natural law a few times here on the Resurgence, and I'll be using this book I have here. And they state natural law is said to be an order or rule of human conduct, which is based upon the divinely created human nature and which is normative for all human beings. Okay. So God designed us a certain way, and therefore we do things that are good for human nature according to his mandate. Also, is the mind itself only care about pure logical data when it analyzes data? No.
I would interject that the existence of women refutes that idea. I'm the married one of the group. I have to live with this every day.
Feels before reels, guys. Oh, that's the red pill truth. Oh, man.
There he is.
Oh,
Join us.
better late than never.
Yeah, fashionably late.
I guess.
We were just mentioning you and your uncaused cause that we're going to get into later tonight.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna read a rather lengthy quote. Now, comes from the 19th century analysis. There's a couple quotes here before I get into fourfold causation. And it says, according to Hodge, that's Charles Hodge, who's famous Princeton Seminary professor in 19th century. He was contemporary of Robert Louis Dabney. but he's in the North. And he's still a good guy. According to Hodge, the word motive can be defined in both objective and subjective sense. In an objective sense, the word refers to something that is outside the self and which awakens desire and affection, therefore, thereby moves the agent to an action or decision. In a subjective sense, the word refers to those inward convictions, feelings, inclinations, and principles which are in the mind itself and which impel or influence the man to decide one way rather than another. When the word motive is defined in the subjective sense, i.e., the sense that explicitly denies the understanding the will can act independently of one another in moral activity, it becomes immediately clear that the moral quality of a voluntary act is determined by the character of the acting agent, because it is the character of the acting agent that determines what is most preferable to the mind in the moment of acting or choosing. There is no such thing, Hodge argues, as a purely intellectual cognition of a moral truth. It is the exercise of a moral nature. It implies moral sensibility. It of necessity involves feeling to a greater or less degree. It is the cognition of a being sensitive to moral distinctions, and without that sensibility, there can be no such cognition.